Exactly.
Exactly.
I've always wondered. I mean, yeah, like you said, being a magician has never been quote unquote cool, or at least as far as like Hollywood shows it, or as until recently, most people.
I'd say the Chris Angel effect on
yeah,
kind of the
probably
Hollywooding of illusionists.
Yeah, and so I can't help but wonder, as a young man growing up, or a teenager, even younger, going through as challenging as school already is, as a magician, was that yet more difficult?
So I could not bring myself to tell anyone in high school. And I feel like I wasn't necessarily wrong. I didn't want to open myself up to being bullied, basically.
Right.
And it was just one of those things where I still think it's super cool, and I know people are like, huh, what?
Yeah.
But just like little things like that I sort of always thought were cool. I knew that if I was, I guess nerdy in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not going to your whole high school, you're like practicing magic,
Yeah.
So I didn't, people would be like, get this kid the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, you always see it on TV as like, it's the kid with the tux and the top hat. And he's pulling the rabbit out, right? It's all geeky.
Or a cape.
Yeah.
Well, and it's still that association with it. If I had never met someone, they're like, what do you do for a living? And I say, I'm a magician. No one's ever like, oh, no way. Like, where do you perform? Like, what kind of da-da-da? People are usually like, oh, so you do kids' parties then, I guess, right? Like, never, so, but I didn't tell anyone through high school. And I was doing shows around town. And my biggest worry was that someone from my high school would know that I was performing at whatever place. That was like my main concern. And it was graduation, grade 12, and the school president knew that I did it, and he knew that I was like serious about it, and I was, and he knew, because I was already working on the doves at that point, so I had the full kind of dove act that I was whipping out, and he was like, "Why don't you just come and do that at this closing assembly?" I'm like, fuck it, all right, why not? And I did it, and I thought this, like, it was the most, like, I thought a riot was gonna break out. I went to like an all boys Catholic school, so it's like give the kids anything and they'll go nuts. So I come out, the assembly's whipping out birds, and these kids are like, oh my god, like going crazy. And then it was that was like a pivotal moment where I remember thinking, like, I was so afraid to tell these kids for 4 years that this is what I did. And I did it, and they're all like, you know what I mean? It was cool to be the coolest kid in school for a day when it was 4 years of trying to hide something,
Yeah. Well, it's the same, like with most things. I've never considered myself a cool guy. I've always been kind of into nerdy things. And, I never really hit it, nor did I ever really care that much about that, I don't think. But when you think about now, if you had embraced it, like with most things, like a lot of kids that, they grew up playing video games all the time, now they're millionaire esport players, or they're writing novels or whatever. It's like the things that we kind of put on ourselves, that it's just like our own sort of boxes that we put ourselves in.
Yeah, don't ever be afraid to just own it.
Yeah.